All right, so number 6, letter A, is a little bit different. I'll show you why I want to do this one, because we have an issue where we have like 0 pop up, okay? So I just want to make sure we feel comfortable. What are we dividing by? 9. So who goes on the outside? The 9. And then 81,605 goes on the inside. All right. 9 does not go into 8, correct? So then we're not going to think of it as 8, but 81. How many times does 9 go into 81? 9 times perfectly. Did you ever learn the multiplication by 9 rule with your finger? Did you ever see that? No. Whatever you multiply 9 by, you count over on your fingers and you put that number down. So this was weird, but you count over 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You put that number down. How many are on the left side? 8. How many are on the right? 1. 9 times 9 is 81. That works for anything. What's 9 times 5? 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 45. So your left hand's always your 10s, and I don't know how it works.
That's difficult for me.
That's okay. If you just know your 9s, but I see some, it's kind of cool, but yeah, if you know your 9s, that's all that matters. Okay. Did 9 go into 8? No, but it went into 81. So we're going to put our answer above the 1 for 81. Okay. What was 9 times 9? 81 perfectly. So this is why I wanted to do this one. We get a 0, but what do we still need to do? Bring down the 6. And only the 6. Can 9 go into 6? No. So what do we have to put above? You have to put a 0. You have to show that you thought about it. 9 cannot go into the 6. It cannot happen. Okay? That's why I wanted to do this one, because it's kind of weird. So I still do the same method. I still say, okay, well, what is 9 times 0? It can't go in there. So what is that? Just 0. And you get 6 still, right? And you bring down the 0. So some teachers don't have you do the step. Some teachers just say right here, bring down the 0. But I like to be methodical where every problem you're doing the same. Do your product, put it under, and then do the subtraction. All right, 60. 9 times 5, does everybody know 9 times 5? 45. So let's add another 9. That gets us to 54. So 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 7 would bump us over, right? So we need 9 times 6. We're going to put a 6 up here. And then what's 9 times 6? What did we say that was? Remember the rule?
54.
Oh, God, that's creepy. I'm not doing that. 54. I need a manicure. All right. So 54, we are going to have to borrow, all right? So we're going to borrow from the 6, so he'll be a 5, and we'll have 10. 10 minus 4 is 6, and then 5 minus 5 is nothing. Is that all right? So, and again, that's how it should be. It should be a relatively small number, because we should be pretty close to that number. Last move, bring the 5 down. 65, I feel like we've almost hit every times 9, right? So we knew that 9 times 6 was 54. What's 9 times 7? 63, okay? So we'll put the 7 up there and the 63 down here. And a remainder of 2. So at that point, when you have no more numbers to drop down, guys, and 9 doesn't go into it, that's just strictly the remainder. So we'll do a remainder of 2. You guys, like, honestly, I feel like I'm getting head nods. Like, are we following it? I mean, you don't have to be like, yeah, 100%, I feel great. I want to take a test on it right now. But overall, you're kind of seeing, like, the method. Like, how close can you get? Price of right rules, okay? Even if you have to go off to the side and do it. And that's what I'm talking about over here, okay? Let's look at example 7 and 8. Let's look at 7 first. Now, we're stepping up our game. Yes. Can I give you? Absolutely. Can I tell you this, guys? He is no different than any of the other ones we've done, so that's why I'm skipping it. It's 5,827 with a remainder of 2. Oh, you can't see that. Sorry. 5,827 with a remainder of 2. So that's the answer for part B. I'm not too worried about it because we've done enough single digits. I want to jump into the guys where they're double and triple digits that we're dividing by. All right? Let's get down here. And guys, again, if it's something where like everybody seems to be getting it but me, 1, that's probably not the truth. But 2, if that's the case, just call me over when you're working on your worksheet or come see me, okay? Or the math lab. All right, 17 will be on the outside. 8920, it'll be on the inside. So what makes this difficult is now that we have to take a double digit into these numbers, and I'm a math teacher and I do not know multiples of 17. So what do? I go over here and multiply 17 a handful of times by numbers, okay? So I'll just do 17 times 2 to start off. What's 2 times 7? 14. Put your 4, carry your 1, so 2 times 1, so 34. That way I know 34 is nowhere close, okay? And so I just get like a handful of multiples of 17 so that I can use them. So I'll do it a couple times. 17 times 3. 3 times 7, 21. Carry your 2, so that's 51. Still not very close. 17 times 4. And do you have to be this methodical, like I'm doing 2, 3, 4? No, like if you know you need to jump up to a bigger number, you can. But I'm just showing you any work you do over here, you'll probably eventually use over here, okay? So 4 times 7, what's that, 28? 4 times 1 is 4, so 68. We're getting closer. 17 times 5. 5 times 7 is 35. This is looking good. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3, 85. Do you guys see what I did? I had no clue about 17s. Nothing. I don't need to do 17 times 1 because I know it's 17. But every other multiple until I got close to 89, I did. And again, we're not wasting our time because I bet we're going to use one of those numbers later on in this problem. So do you guys agree that 85 is the closest we can get to 89 without going over?
Yes.
Okay. And so I did 17 into 89. So since I did it into 89, I'm going to put the 5 above the 9. And don't we know what 17 times 5 is? Yeah, I did the work over here. So what am I going to put right below the 89? 85. You got it. And then we're just going to do the subtraction like we've been doing. 9 minus 5 is 4. 8 minus 8 is nothing, so I'm not going to worry about that. And then what's my next move, guys? Bring down the 2. 42. Look, I already have my math done over here for me. 51 was too much. So guess what we have to do? The 34. How did I get 34? It was 17 times 2. Do you guys see what I'm talking about? These are the numbers that we're trying to get close to this guy. 51 is over, so 34 is the next best thing. How did I get to 34? I took 17 times 2. So 17 goes into 42 2 times. What is 17 times 2?
34.
I already have that. It's 34. It doesn't seem very close, but when you get to bigger numbers like 17, the gaps can be bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, so we're going to have to borrow. So I'm going to borrow from the 4. He's going to go to 3, and this is going to become a 12. What's 12 minus 4? Use your fingers if you have to. 8, right? 3 minus 3 is nothing. And I'm going to bring down my 0. 80, this is too high. Do you guys agree that 85 is too high? So what do we have to do? 68 is the closest we can get. How did we get 68? With a 4. So 17 times 4 gets us as close to 80 as possible. And what was that answer? 68. You do the subtraction. I have to borrow, so my 8 changes to a 7, and my 0 changes to a 10. What's 10 minus 8? 2. What's 7 minus 6? 1. And you look at 12 and you're like, 12 is a pretty big remainder, but as long as your remainder is smaller than what you divided by, you're okay, right? 17 can't go in again. So what's that mean? It means 8,920 can be divided evenly 17 times by putting 524 things in each of those groups, but then you have a random 12 left, okay? So your remainder is 12. You guys are doing great. Let's do this last one and then we'll look at some of the word problems. You're like, okay, how does it get more difficult? Let's throw triple digits out there, okay? My hint to you with triple digits is think about rounding rules, okay? So 678 is what we're dividing by. He's going to go on the outside. And who's going to go on the inside? 33,282. That's huge. 678, and we're going to divide into 3,282, all right? I'm going to kind of do like what I did before. Let's do 678 times 2 and see where that gets us, all right? So 2 times 8 is 16. I'm going to put my 6, carry my 1. 2 times 7 is 14. plus my 1 is 15, so I'm going to put my 5, carry my 1. 2 times 6 is 12 plus 1 is 13. Does that look okay, guys? 1356. Is that anywhere close to 3328? No. So I'll do 678 times 3. And again, if you want to jump more than this, feel free to. But I'm going to show you that. Just give it a little bit of time, you'll get there. Like, don't rush it, you'll get there. 3 times 8 is 24, so I'm going to put my 4, carry my 2. 3 times 7 is 21, with the 2 is 23, so I'll put my 3, carry my 2. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. 2034 is moving in the right direction, but it's still a little far, all right? So let's try 678 times 4. All right. 4 times 8 is 32, so I'll put my 2, carry my 3. 4 times 7, what's that, 28, is that right? Plus 3 is 31, I'll put my 1, carry my 3. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 3 is 27. Oh, wait, did I do that right? Does that look okay? You're like, oh my God, I'm still nowhere close, am I? I am closer, but I think we can go maybe one more time. So let's try it. 678 times 5. 5 times 8 is 40. Put your 0, carry your 4. 5 times 7, what's that? 35. Plus 4 is 39, so I'll put my 9, carry my 3. And then 5 times 6 is 30, plus 3, 33. What happens when I went that extra time? I jumped over, right? And don't you guys agree that 3390 is a lot closer than 2712? Yeah, but that's not what matters. We have to be under it. It's like price of right rules. So notice how this is a 4-digit number, guys, 2712. When we go to put our number 4, it's going to be over the 8. Because we put 678 into 3,328, as big as that is, 4 times. And we already know what number needs to go underneath because we did it over here. We're going to put 2712 under there. And we're just going to do the subtraction. And when we do the subtraction, it'll be a fairly large number because we're decently off. Guys, make sure you're paying attention. So 8 minus 2 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. I can't do 3 minus 7, so I'll have to borrow. That will change to a 2. This will change to a 13. 13 minus 7 is 6. Is that okay? Did you guys get 616 there?
Yes.
What's my next move? Bring down the 2. Okay, so this is where I want to start kind of hinting. You're like, Molly, you're going to really make us do this like 1,000 times. No. Realize that 5 gave us 3390. That's about half of this. So if you doubled it, you'd get 10, but that would be too big. Like, do you guys agree that this is almost double of where we were?
Right.
Okay, so instead of multiplying by 5, double 5 is 10, but I think that's going to put us over. So I'm going to try 678 times like 9 or 8 or something. I'm going to try it times 9. Because we know 678 times 10, you just add a 0, right? That's 6780. That puts us over. So hopefully 9 will work for us. So 9 times 8, is that 72? Put your 2, carry your 7. 9 times 7 is 63, plus your 7 is 70, so put your 0, carry your 7. And then 9 times 6 is 54, plus your 7 is 61. 6102, for those that are working ahead, does that look all right? 6102? Yeah. So look how close we got. We got within 60 there, all right? How did we get there with the number 9? So we'll put 9 up top, and its product, 6102, goes underneath. Our remainder is not too bad. We have 2 minus 2 is 0. 6 minus 0 is 6, and then that's just going to be 0. So again, a very large remainder. The remainder is 60, guys, but that's still a lot smaller than 678. On a test, you're not going to have like 10 of those, right? You'll have one where you show me and you can do it, but I'm not going to overkill, okay? So once you show me, and again, I can't stress enough, you don't have to get to the right answer right away. Do your times table over here nice and slowly, and then you can pull from it to see how it helps you with the answer over here. All right. We still have 5 minutes, so let's set these up. Okay, 1 I want to do for sure, but I'll set these all up because they're just normal division like we were doing on the front page, okay? But I want to give you the answers. So on number 9, it says 3 students bought 171 blank CDs to share equally. How many CDs did each person get? Anytime you're divvying it out to people, it's division, okay? What are we dividing by?
3.
3, right?
171.
So 3 is going to go into 171. I'm going to write the answer right off to the side if that's okay. And so I'll save room for you to work it. It's going to be 57 CDs. So each person gets 57 CDs. 10, printers can be packed 12 to a box. If 532 printers are to be packed but only full boxes are shipped, how many full boxes will be shipped? So basically, how many times does it go in evenly? And then how many printers are left over? That's going to be your remainder, okay? So we're going to do 12 to a box, and there's 532 printers, okay? Again, I'm going to leave it for you to do because you can do it, but I want to tell you the answer and kind of how we would make the answer correct. Your answer ends up being 44 with a remainder of 4. That means we shipped 44 full boxes. We were able to get 44 boxes full with these printers and 4 printers left over. Do you see where you get these answers from this answer?
Yeah.
So 44 full times, right? So that's why we were able to put the boxes completely in. And then when you have that remainder, you're like, oh, I don't have enough to fill another box, so those 4 printers will just hang out. All right, I do want to do D, objective D, because it is a new concept. A new concept to this class. I think a handful of you guys have probably talked about averages before. Have you guys heard of the word average before? Like if you had to find an average on your test, what you would do is you would average up all your test scores by adding them and then dividing by how many tests you have, okay? So over here, guys, write down, like in words, averages are always sum all numbers and then divide by the number of items. Sum all numbers, but then divide by the number of items. So what does that mean? You would add up all your test scores and then divide by how many tests you have. Okay? So let's read this problem. It says, to compute a safe time to wait for reactions to occur after allergy shots are administered, a lab technician is given a list of elapsed times between when a shot was given and when a reaction happened, okay? So we want to find the average of if somebody had 4 minutes within getting the shot, they had a reaction, 7 minutes, 35 minutes, 16 minutes, 9 minutes, 3 minutes, and 52 minutes. Anybody get allergy shots? I get allergy shots weekly, so every week I have to go get 3 shots in my arm, and before I leave, I have to wait for 30 minutes to make sure I don't have a reaction. And so the question is, where's that 30 minutes coming from? It's probably an average of time of, this is when most reactions occur. So if you don't get a reaction in this time frame, you're free to leave, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to add up each of our numbers, 4, 7, 35, 16, 9, 3, and 52, get a total number of minutes, and then divide by how many minutes or how many different patients we had, okay? I usually put the bigger numbers on top. You don't have to. 52, 35, 16, 4, 7, 9, 3. Is that all of them? 4, 7, 35, 16, 9. Yeah. Does it matter what order you add them? No. I just like the bigger numbers. I'm going to go straight down if that's okay, just to kind of get it over with. 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 6 is 13, plus 4 is 17, plus 7 is 24, plus 9 is 33, plus 3 more is 36. I know I did that kind of quick, but I trust you would get there. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 plus 1 is 1. Plus is 12, so 126. What's that mean? It means of these reaction times, there was a total of 126-minute time span. But how many patients did we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 patients, okay? So we're going to take 7 into 126. So 7 total times. All right. Can 7 go into 1? Nope. but it can go into 12 only once, right? Because 7 times 2 is 14. That would put us over. All right? So I'm going to do 1 here, and then my close number here, 7. 12 minus 7 gets us what? How far away are we? 5. Bring down your 6. How many times does 7 go into 56? 8 times, right? So say you do 7. 7 times 7 is 49. And the difference between 56 and 49 is 7. So when you get that remainder equal to or higher than what you're dividing by, you know you could go in another time. So it's actually 8. 7 times 8 is 56, guys, with a remainder of 0. So what does that mean for our average? There's about an 18-minute average according to this lab technician. So they'll probably have all shots patients stay at least 20 minutes, right? Because the average time of a reaction occurring is around that 20-minute time frame. Great job. I know there's a lot to see.